Hi, this is Steve with Homestrung Jewelry, and we have a guest here today.
Hello.
Yeah, you can come in.
I'm anxious.
Yes, she is. This is Shanda. You've met her on a couple of the unboxings, but Shanda is a wire artist. And today she's going to be making what, Shanda?
I'm going to show you how to make these earrings.
Let's hope so. They're in the middle of the picture.
Yes.
And this uses components from our May Gemstone Orphanage box, correct?
That is correct.
Even though we're not going to be using these components, we're going to be using similar components. But this is something that we showed on our unboxing video, and several of you asked, can you show us how to make these?
And we are trying to give it to you.
Okay, so tell us what they're going to need to make this today, Shanda.
All right. So you'll need, of course, a coin bead. These in here are 10 millimeters. We're going to do 12 millimeter. It's a very flexible design, so either size works. Then we got these fun little roundels or disc beads. They're roughly 8 by 4, so something roughly around that size. A 3 millimeter bead, plus some ear wires, and then 2 strips of wire, 24 gauge, both of them roughly around 7 inches each. And then...
That's it? What kind of tools are we going to need today?
I recommend a flat nose, if you have it, a round nose, a chain nose, and some flush cutters, as well as a ruler for measuring.
All right, let's pull a few of these things out of the way, and let's get started.
To begin, you want to take one of your 7-inch 24 gauge wires, and you're going to measure about 3 inches. And at the 3-inch mark, you can take your wide nose pliers and make a 90-degree bend. All right, so now you got a long end and a short end. On the short end, you're going to take one of your 3 millimeter beads and you're going to thread it through the top on the short end and bring it right down to that 90-degree bend. All right, at the 90-degree bend, you're just going to finish bringing that wire up and around and just kind of hold that bead in. All right, so again, you got your short end and your long end out here. With the long end, you're going to take that wire and you're just going to wrap it around the short end wire. And that just kind of helps anchor that bead in.
How many times do you wrap it around?
Just once.
Okay.
So just one full time. All right, you're going to take your coin bead and you're going to thread it on the short end. And you're just going to bring that wire up. Now we're going to start decorating the front of the wire. And as you can see in this example, we're going to make these little loops. All right. So I take my thumb and I hold onto the wire at the bottom half of that bead, and you want a good firm hold, but you don't want to be so firm that the wire doesn't move. You should be able to feel that wire moving underneath your thumb as you're trying to make a loop. And then every once in a while you want to kind of stop and take a look at it to make sure you're getting the loop shape you want. And if you want the loop smaller, you pull on a little tighter. And if you want it bigger, you just kind of loosen up a bit and just finish wrapping it around. All right. And then we're going to go the opposite direction to make a loop. So we're going to go this direction now. And same thing, we're just going to keep making that loop. And if you don't like the shape of that loop, or if it's up too high, you can take some round nose pliers and you can kind of work with it and
just reshape it a little bit.
Reshape it, bring it down a little bit lower. And then we're going to go a second time around that loop. All right.
Oh, cool. So you're wrapping over the top of it a second time?
Kind of right next to it.
Oh, okay.
And I got to pull it back a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. So as you can see, you can see the wires are right next to each other. And it's a little bit easier to see on this, but you can see, you know, the first loop and then a second loop around it.
I think we can see it right there a little bit. Bring it in closer. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
So you're putting one loop over the top, but offset just a tiny bit. You don't have to
Right.
be perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. So the middle one's a little bit bigger than the two outer ones. All right. Then we got to do one more loop. And we're going to go the other direction, the same direction as the first loop. And we're just going to keep working on that loop until we get what we want.
And you really don't need any tools at all to do this, do you?
Not really. Not a whole lot of tools. Just except if you kind of want to shape it up a little bit, you can use the tools to kind of fine-tune things a little bit. But that's it. All right. So you'll bring this back up to the top of your bead to match with the short end wire. You'll grab your wide nose pliers and make a 90-degree bend. All right. And then you'll take your roundel or disc bead and thread it through both wires. All right. I'm saying all right a lot. And pull it down and make it snug at the top.
Cool.
All right. And then the next thing, you now have two wires at the top. You'll take your round nose pliers and at the tip of the pliers, you'll grip both wire ends and you'll just bring it down at a 90-degree angle. All right. Then reposition your pliers, and I'm going about in between a quarter to a half an inch up my pliers. Depends on what size you want for the loop. And you just bring both wires up and around.
It's kind of like making a wrapped loop. You're just
Yeah.
using two wires.
Yeah, it's a wrap loop with two wires. And you just kind of treat those two wires as if they're one.
Fun.
And trying to make sure they stay together. So once you've done the full loop, then you'll wrap around the neck of that bead. All right. And next,
Is that like one full loop or a loop and a half?
I got about a loop and a half.
Okay.
Depends on how long the neck is.
Sure.
So if
you
you got
just fill up the space.
yeah, fill up the space. If you got a longer neck, you want you're going to do more wraps. You've got a shorter neck, maybe 1 to 1.5 wraps.
Depends on your neck.
Right.
Yes, I cried when I had no necktie until I met a man who had no
neck. Right. So you got a little bit of a nubby wire at the end, and that's when you'll take your chain nose pliers and you'll just
Get rid of the nubs.
get rid of the nubs. Just push them in. Hopefully you guys can see that.
Well, if you can't see it, you can't feel it, it doesn't matter.
Right. You don't want any pokies. All right. So I got it tucked in. And then because we're putting this onto an ear wire, I got to readjust that loop so we can get that ear wire on. And this blue is my mom's favorite color. She has requested these earrings when I get done with them. In fact, she's the one that gave me these beads. So very carefully on the ear wire, you want to open it up like you would with a jump ring from side to side. You don't want to pull it apart, it distorts it. And a lot of these manufactured ear wires, the metal's a little stiff and they can break very easily. So be very, very gentle.
Yeah, I think this is a stainless steel lever back.
Yeah.
So it's going to be extra sturdy, a little bit stiff, but it's going to last forever.
All right, and that is the finished design. Now you got one more bead set to put together.
unless you only have one ear, and then you're done.
Then you're done.
Or if you're a pirate. If you're a pirate, you're finished now.
And just like as you can tell, you can do a mirror image, and all you do is just pull that wire in different directions to create that mirror image, or you can have them identical, up to you, your preference.
Okay. So let's make the other wire.
Let's get going. All right, we're done.
Here we have the finished earrings. Simple. You can make these in just a few moments. With a little practice, they take even less time. So if you'd be interested, we have the video tutorial, but if you'd be interested in a printed tutorial, just let us know down in the comments below and we can prepare one and put them on the website. And also, if you would please go ahead while you're down there in the comments, check the like button and go ahead and click on the subscribe button as well if you'd be interested in seeing future videos. If you click the bell at the same time, you'll be notified when those videos come out. This is Steve from Homestrung Jewelry.
And this is Shanda.
And we'll see you again soon.
Thank you for your time.